Charles, formerly known as Prince Charles, has endured one of the most turbulent periods in modern royal history. This was particularly evident in his relationship with Princess Diana, which left an indelible mark on the memories of millions of people around the world. It all began in 1977 when Charles met Diana Spencer at a party at their sister Sarah's house. Diana was only 16 years old and came from an aristocratic family. She could not have imagined that her path would cross with that of the future king. Their relationship began like a fairy tale. She was irresistible and popular, while he was the heir to the throne. However, things soon became complicated, and their love story turned into a tragedy that dominated the headlines. Millions of people watched their fairy tale wedding, but behind the scenes, things were far from ideal. To start with, Charles never truly ended his relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles, who was his true love. This significant revelation was confirmed by Charles himself, who admitted that his feelings for Camilla persisted even before his engagement to Diana. Many believe that he was under immense pressure from his mother, and his decisions were dictated by family traditions and protocol. However, Camilla did not fit the role of a queen, and thus Charles married Diana. Looking back, it is worth noting that after their wedding, Charles began seeking solace elsewhere. Millions of people observed their marriage, viewing it as a modern fairy tale, but the reality was different. After a few years, cracks began to appear in their relationship, and arguments became common. Recent revelations from Charles shed light on the true state of affairs. He acknowledges that he and Diana were very different people. Diana was sociable and charismatic, with deep empathy for others, while he was more reserved and even cold. She felt lonely, despite the attention from the royal family and the media. But the main source of her pain was the shadow of Camilla, who was always present. Their marriage became one of the most publicized scandals, and today Charles has finally admitted that he cheated on Diana for many years. In his first interview about his family life, he denied having an affair with Camilla, but rumors of their romance continued to circulate. In a well-known documentary, he finally confessed to cheating on Diana with Camilla, trying to hide it. However, in 1995, during an interview, he uttered the famous phrase, "There were 3 of us in that marriage, so it was a bit crowded." This became a clear sign that their marriage was doomed. Diana tried her best to save her marriage, but she also struggled with mental health issues, such as depression and bulimia. As relations between Charles and Diana worsened, and their arguments became frequent, the royal staff often heard screams and disputes in the corridors. One of the most dramatic moments was Diana discovering a bracelet that Charles had ordered for Camilla. This small gesture became the last straw that shattered their already fragile marriage. Thus, their story of love and marriage became not only a personal drama but also a public phenomenon that continued to stir people's minds long after their divorce. Despite all the difficulties and scandals, their story remains one of the most discussed in royal history, reminding us of how personal choices and family obligations can intertwine to create complex life stories. Diana had long suspected that her husband was meeting someone else behind her back. She felt increasingly lonely in the royal family, while Charles, on his part, never truly understood this. Diana's popularity and natural charm sparked deep jealousy and resentment in him. Recently, he admitted that he often felt overshadowed by Diana, which further strained their relationship. Although Charles and Diana tried to present a united front to protect their children, William and Harry, the tension between them was impossible to hide. They both loved their children deeply, but the instability in their marriage was evident. Diana was a loving mother to her children, while Charles, although he cared for them, remained more detached. However, one of the hardest things for the children to witness was the constant conflicts between their parents. William, being the eldest, became an emotional support for his mother, while Harry openly talked about how difficult it was for him to see this as a child. The death of their mother deeply wounded the boys. This tragic event occurred in Paris in 1997. In August, Diana was a princess. She had separated from Charles, but was still trying to rebuild her life with another man. Unfortunately, fate had other plans. Chased by paparazzi, they got into a car accident in a tunnel in Paris. Charles says that, despite all the problems in their relationship, Diana's death deeply affected him. For the royal family, it was a moment that divided time into before and after. People were saddened because Diana was an icon not only because of her kindness and style but also because of her work for the benefit of society. She left a big mark on people's hearts, especially in the UK, where she was beloved. Regarding Charles, despite many people pointing to his indirect responsibility for the tragic events due to his treatment of Diana during their marriage, he understands that this event left an indelible mark on his life. Now, over 20 years later, he acknowledges that he will always feel the weight of what happened to his former wife. One of the most popular rumors is that the British royal family is somehow involved in the car accident. Conspiracy theorists claim that some family members, including high-ranking officials in the British government, wanted Diana to disappear. According to this theory, after her divorce from Prince Charles, Diana became an inconvenient figure for the royal family due to her popularity and criticism of some aspects of their lives. One factor supporting this theory is her relationship with Dodi, the son of an Egyptian billionaire. Some people think that the royal family did not approve of Diana's relationship with Dodi. There were rumors that Diana was pregnant and they were planning to get married. The idea that a Muslim woman could become the mother of the next king of England and have another son was seen as a threat to the monarchy. Muhammad, one of those who believes this, said that the tragic accident that killed Diana was orchestrated by MI6, the British Secret Service, on the orders of the royal family. Although this was investigated and the official report stated that it was not true, some people still believe it is possible. Other theories suggest that MI6 was closely monitoring Diana at the time of her death. People think this because there were rumors that she had contact with MI6 before her death, and they may have been involved in her death. But this is just a theory and it has not been proven. The British are very concerned about Diana's activities and her global influence. It is possible that they are somehow connected to the accident. Rumors have spread that Diana was being watched due to her work against anti-personnel mines, as well as her connections with influential international figures. One piece of evidence supporting this theory is the testimony of Richard Tomlin, a former MI6 agent, who claimed that investigators from the service considered the possibility of eliminating public figures like Diana. Although Tomlin had no evidence of a connection between MI6 and Diana's death, his comments sparked much controversy and intensified suspicions of the Secret Service's involvement. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the Mercedes in which Diana was traveling could have been tampered with, leading to the accident. They say that there were faulty brakes or that the car had been tampered with. According to this theory, there is evidence that the car involved in the accident was stolen several months earlier and then returned, leading some to suspect that something could have been done to it during that time. However, the official investigation found no evidence to support this version. Therefore, after the accident, the car underwent a thorough inspection. Despite the official explanation blaming the paparazzi, some people think it is just a cover-up to hide the real culprit. In this alternative narrative, it is claimed that the paparazzi were simply used to divert attention from the real cause of the accident, which was the work of French or British intelligence through their agent Henri Paul. The driver who crashed the car, Henri Paul, also died in the accident. It is said that he was drunk and driving fast, but some people think that it was all a cover-up for something bigger. The most controversial part of the story is how long it took for the ambulance to reach Diana. She was only a few minutes' drive from the hospital when the accident occurred, but the ambulance took over an hour. Some people think it was done deliberately to ensure she didn't make it to the hospital. If the ambulance had arrived sooner or if she had received better care at the hospital, they think she could have survived. But this is just a theory. We will never know for sure. However, authorities and investigators say that Diana's injuries were indeed severe. Despite their best efforts to help her, her condition rapidly deteriorated, and she died soon after being taken to the hospital. The ambulance probably would have arrived sooner, but it is unlikely that she would have survived. There is also another rumor that has been circulating for many years that Diana knew she was in danger before the accident. In fact, about 2 years before her death, in 1995, she wrote a letter to her butler Paul, saying that she was scared and thought someone might try to kill her in a car accident. This letter became known as the death letter. Some believe that Diana did not die in a car accident but was killed as part of a conspiracy. Investigators say there is no connection between the letter and the car accident, and that Diana was simply in a state of stress, and her fears were probably exaggerated. The police, including the British police Operation Pete, concluded that there is no evidence that the accident was planned in advance. According to the final report, the tragedy occurred due to the reckless driving of Henri Paul, the driver, who was drunk and under pressure from the paparazzi. The tragic death of Princess Diana left an indelible mark on history, a story of her charisma and tumultuous marriage to Prince Charles. Her death remains a subject of debate and speculation, with some calling it an unsolved mystery. One of the most shocking documents is a letter Diana wrote to her butler, Paul Burrell. This letter, written 2 years before her death, sparked numerous conjectures. In it, Diana accused her husband, Prince Charles, of orchestrating an accident to get rid of her and be with Camilla Parker Bowles, with whom he had a relationship before and after marrying Diana. Diana detailed the alleged plans, mentioning brake failure and a severe head injury, which closely resembles what happened to her in the car accident in Paris. Her Mercedes lost control and crashed at high speed, resulting in a fatal head injury. We need to recall the contents of this letter to understand the circumstances. Diana went through a difficult time after her separation from Charles. They announced their divorce in 1992, but it only became official in 1996. Their marriage was a source of emotional pain for her, especially due to Charles's affair with Camilla. She felt attacked and marginalized by those around her, constantly under the pressure of the media. Moreover, she began to feel that she had lost control of her own life. In a famous interview with Martin Bashir in 1995, Diana spoke about the difficulties she faced in her marriage and within the royal family. She confessed to the BBC that she felt like there were 3 of them in her marriage, referring to Camilla, and talked about feeling hurt and betrayed. All of this was expressed in the letter, which was published after her death when her butler revealed it in his book, The Queen of Hearts, Diana, in 2003. This letter caused a huge stir in the media and gave rise to conspiracy theories. Some interpreted Diana's words as a warning of what was to come. However, others argue that she was simply going through a tough time due to personal conflicts and her relationship with the royal family. They say that the letter reflects her fear and anxiety at the time. The police investigated the letter and found no evidence of a plot to kill Diana. They said that the accident happened due to Henri Paul's reckless drunkenness and the pressure from the paparazzi. But Diana's letter still sends shivers down the spine because it seems she believed her life was in danger. Some people think there might be more to this story. Friends, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel to not miss new videos. And I'm not saying goodbye, I'll see you soon.